There is a lot of noise in the background. There's someone building something outside. There's someone downstairs. Here's me about to give you guys a video that I think will mean something to you. Hey you guys, my name is Courtney J and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Did you guys miss me? I took a very much needed mental break. I've been reading this book called The Untethered Soul. I finished it 2 days ago. Very, very, very enlightening. I think that whatever part of the journey you're on in your spiritual journey, consciousness journey, healing journey, self-love journey, whatever it is, I really, really think that this book is going to explode in your mind. It really makes you reflect deeper on life. So from the title of this video, how to mentally revamp your life in and outside of the strip club, I will be referencing from this book as well. This video is an extension of the first video I made, which ended up becoming popular on YouTube because I've been getting comments recently, and that video is a year old. So I appreciate everybody that ended up coming across from it. This is an updated version of it, coming from a more conscious point of view, coming from a very much healthier place as well. I may end up doing different parts for this video. So we have mentally, I might do a emotionally, and then I might do a physically. And I've been trying to see like when I wanted to do this video because there's just always been stuff going on. So I decided that since creating is something that adds joy into my life, I'm just gonna continue to create, and I just pray that you guys just get through the noise with me because I don't desire for any noise to stop me from creating for you guys and creating for myself. First and foremost, I do want to say that how I think about life and go about life is 100% different from last year. Even around this time last year, I want to say that I'm very proud of myself for how brave I am. It didn't hit me until the other night at the club, and I was just like, I really am brave. When I was younger, I didn't think I was brave. I didn't think I had courage. I didn't think I had confidence. Like, inner child Courtney just felt like she had nothing. Not even felt like, thought that she just had nothing to herself. And then I reflected and I'm like, I've literally put my life on YouTube. I've put my life in the strip club on YouTube. I've put content out when I was going through certain things, and I shared it with the world based off of the emotions that I was in at that time. And the list just goes on and on from there. And I can appreciate that I still have the bravery to keep a lot of my old videos up because I'm able to share the changes that a person can go through. So if you sat and watched all of my videos, even watched the deleted videos, then you actually see the change that's within me. And it takes bravery to show the world how a person can change mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The way I used to speak even a month, 2 months, 3, 4, 5 months ago isn't the same as the Courtney J that's here in this moment. So I'm just giving myself that credit. I really am brave and I really am courageous. So I just had to put that out there. How to mentally revamp your life in and outside of the strip club. This video is for anyone that resonates with it. You don't have to be a stripper to go along with this video. And the first thing I want to start off with is with the book. So what this book starts off with is the voices inside of our head. If you never really sat and thought about the voice in your head, then do this exercise with me. In your mind, say, hey. Now ask yourself, who heard the voice in your head saying, hey? If you're able to hear the voice in your head, the voice in your head tells you thoughts, right? So a big thing when it comes to life are thoughts and emotions, right? A lot of people go off of their thoughts and a lot of people go off of their emotions, right? Having the understanding that you can hear the voice in your head, the voice in your head is the one that tells you thoughts, then that's how you know that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You just feel the emotions. You're aware that the body that you're in, whatever name you have, like for me, I am aware that Courtney's experiencing joy right now. I am aware of whenever Courtney is having thoughts, because thoughts are received. So I wanted to start that off. So in the course of this video, you guys can understand that the way that you've been operating in life hasn't been you. It's been an aspect of you, but it's not who you are internally, which is, in my perspective, consciousness. Everyone calls it differently. I call it consciousness. I, consciousness, am aware of the body, Courtney, that's experiencing life, that's feeling emotions, that's observing everything. My body is an object that's being observed. My heart is an object being observed. My thoughts is an object that is being observed. Everything is observed. Everything. And that can help you when you are going through certain emotions, when you're at the club or before you go, or when you're just living your life, doing whatever you're doing. Being aware that you are not the thoughts that come into mind, whether they are good or bad. Either way, you're not the thoughts. Being aware that you're the one that's just feeling emotions, like when you're at the club and you feel anxious or you feel nervous, or just in life you feel anxious or nervous. It's just your body that's feeling those emotions, but it's not exactly like you. It's not you. You're just feeling them. It's not you. You're just thinking it. So understanding that on your journey is the root to understanding everything else on a deeper level. The next point I want to go over is understanding your mental state and perception on life and other people. And that's really important. You have to really sit and ask yourself, how do you think and feel about yourself, and how do you think and feel about other people? And I believe I've said this before. If not, I'll say it again. Our perceptions of life is based off what we've been exposed to. Once you grow into your consciousness journey, you come into awareness that you do have the choice to perceive things the way that you generally desire to. You don't have to carry on what's been projected onto you. When you're at the club, there's so many different perceptions and projections from dancers, from customers, from staff, from people that don't even know anything about the industry. There's always going to be a perception of it. And that can affect one's own perception of what they're doing in the strip club, or what they're doing in life. And then that idea that was planted onto them is going to impact you. And whatever it impacts you mentally is going to affect you emotionally and physically. Which is why I decided to do this mental video first, because it starts from the mental. It starts from your heart. It starts there. There's a root to everything. you really just have to sit within yourself and really ask yourself, how do I view life? How do I view myself? How do I view other people? Now, my answer to that is, how do I view life? How does Courtney view life? Courtney views life from a perspective of nothing in the now. And I say that because we don't control life. We don't know what's going to happen next. And being in the strip club industry, it's like the perfect way to explain expectations, because we all go to the club having an expectation that we're going to have a very prosperous, abundant night. And when that doesn't happen, it can cause some people to be sad or irritated, which I've shared with you guys on numerous videos, right? So if you have a perception on life that life is just, it is what it is, it's nothing, I don't have to put a label on it, I don't have to put expectations on things, how that correlates to the club, whenever something happens in the club that you didn't expect, you won't be hurt off of expectations. Because you don't have any. You just accept life for what it is. You accept yourself for who you are, and you accept other people for what they are without expectations. You accept customers to just be customers. You accept the rejection if you get rejected. You have no attachment to it. And the way that you think and feel about yourself is how you're going to think and feel about other people on a very subconscious level. The third point, do you know your purpose for why you're doing what you're doing? And this is very important. You have to know why you're stripping. Because from my experience last year being in Charlotte, my focus wasn't on my passions and my desires. It was solely on survival. So now that I am in a place in my life where I can actually embody the version of myself that's dancing consistently, that's interning, that's on film sets, that's just doing whatever suits Courtney best, I'm no longer in a survival state. So now I can utilize stripping in whichever way I desire to. And that detachment from the money as well, whenever I have a mini bag night, that's also very, very great and very emotionally disciplined within myself as well. And then also just not getting too carried away in the environment. And a big one for me personally, I had to come into awareness that stripping is just what I do, but it's not who I am. I can have the same confidence when I tell you guys about my stripper journey, or when somebody asks me questions about it and I can confidently answer. I have to have that same confidence when I'm speaking about me being a choreographer or doing dance choreography, doing heels choreography, doing pole dance. When I am in film production, me being a YouTuber, just honoring all of my passions the same way I honor what I do for income. Once you just know your purpose for yourself and just anything under the sun, I really think life is a bit more at ease that way. You're less stressed out too. You're just not attached to everything. You're just living in your purpose. Live through your purpose in anything that you do. The fourth thing, recognize attachments and behaviors that have caused inner disturbances. That is self-awareness to the T, okay? You have to recognize the attachments that you have in life. And that can range into any and everything, okay? I can speak for me personally, and then you guys can just go from there. For me, the attachment that I had in the strip club, I had an attachment to money. That's why Courtney would get upset or feel some type of way whenever she would have a mini bag night. Courtney was attached to rejection. So because of that, she would try to avoid rejection, which means that the root of the rejection never went away. It always showed up in Courtney's reality because she was trying to avoid dealing with rejection. I had an attachment to how other people perceive me because I didn't understand how I perceive myself and being confident in that. So those are just examples of attachments that I've had. Having the attachments to that impacted my behaviors, which then affected my reality, affected my work ethic, affected my energy. So that's an example of basically what that means. Recognize your attachments and your behaviors, because when things happen in the outer reality, it'll cause an inner disturbance. In other words, triggers. So when you really sit within your trigger, sit within that inner disturbance when it occurs, if you have to exit yourself from the situation to deal with your emotions, do that. I do that all the time. If I feel an inner disturbance, I'm going to exit stage left and I'm going to sit within that and really understand why I'm feeling that way. I'm going to calm myself down before I do anything. And I think that's really important. And it's a lot of emotional maturity, so that way you're not acting out of your emotions. You're going to be acting from logic. And then you come into awareness that with logic, it's really just accepting what is and not letting it impact you. But the only way you can get to that point is if you're aware of the triggers and you're aware of what attachments you have to something that caused you to be triggered in the first place. Freedom, being objective and accepting what is. So first, when it comes to freedom, freedom is freeing yourself from the world entirely, freeing yourself from any environment that you're in, freeing yourself from any situationships, relationships that don't serve your higher self. Really just freeing yourself from all that, freeing yourself from everything you thought you knew about the world. Where there's freedom, there's peace, because you're not putting expectations on things. You're not putting assumptions on things. You're okay with not having an opinion on something. When a customer says or does something that you didn't expect, because you're so whole within yourself, you accept what is, you accept how this person acted or what they said, and you don't let it impact you one bit, because you accept what is. Freedom. And if something that a customer says or a person says triggers you, you sit within that. Why did that trigger me? Being objective, that is something that I have been doing a lot lately, which being objective basically means that you are experiencing life, viewing things without your own personal biases or opinions. And that right there is so peaceful. I've been doing that a lot. And I do enjoy practicing just being objective, because it just makes you see things differently. And it's just something that you just have to experience. So the next time you go to the club, or the next time you just go somewhere, you're around people, you're at your job, you're around friends, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, even like right now in this moment, watch my video by being objective without putting your own opinions and thoughts on things. Just accept what you're watching, which is me, and allow whatever resonates to resonate, and allow whatever doesn't to just not resonate, and just accept what is and just leave it like that. And then even when it comes to like relationships with other people, even when having conversations with different customers, you don't have to prove your truth. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Everybody's going to always have a different perception of something. It doesn't make it right or wrong. Humans are the only ones that label things, because the world was here before we even came here. It's the humans that have chosen to label what something is and how something is. So with being objective, it just cancels all of that out. And it's really just the roots of just not being bothered. You're not bothered if you have a slow night. You're not bothered by a conversation with a customer if what he said didn't resonate with you or she. You're not bothered by your own job. You're not bothered by somebody in your family that may have did something in a way that you wouldn't have done it. You just detach. And then also when you have conversations with people, you listen to them objectively, but still allow that person to know that you understand what they're saying. You just don't have an opinion on it, because truthfully, I'm not going to say truthfully because truth is subjective. So instead of that word, I'll just say overall, it doesn't matter how anybody feels or thinks. We're all going to have different perceptions. Do what works for you. It really doesn't matter. Who cares if this customer doesn't want to spend money on you? Who cares if there's nobody in the building? Is it going to stop your life and what you have going on? No. Because life's going to continue to move from other forces and factors that are beyond what we can consciously see. And then the ending for this video, just accept what is. Accept what is with life. Accept what happens in life without putting a label on it. Accept how people are without putting a label on them. Accept who you are objectively. Accept certain conversations that you have with people without putting a label on it. Really just let that meditate within yourself, what that means to just accept what is. So I pray that you guys enjoyed this video, part 1. I enjoyed sharing this knowledge with you guys. I can always go more in depth in Zoom sessions, which I didn't forget about. I did do some, nobody joined. But I'm gonna still do it until people join, and I can go more in depth over what I just spoke about. So I just wanted to just sum up all of that for this video. Thank you for sticking around with me when I do take my much needed mental breaks. Whenever I take my breaks, it's because Courtney is shifting into a higher version of herself. And I really appreciate you guys that have been here along my journey with no judgments. And a lot of you guys have already been viewing me objectively, you just didn't realize it yet. And it's very, very powerful of you to do so. And I'm appreciative that I can have the bravery and the courage to continue to put out videos and still keep old videos up of myself, because I'm just brave enough to do so. So until next time, my lovelies, stay up, stay amazing, remain objective, accept what is, and just enjoy life for what it is. Bye.